This podcast is an invitation to feel and experience the souls of famous old Hollywood homes and to have an in-depth journey to the areas where they're located through interviews with longtime residents. Either you're a fan of old Hollywood in Los Angeles, planning to have a vacation, or, an even bigger step, considering a certain area for your future home. This is your opportunity to receive valuable information and insightful advice you won't find anywhere else.
Hello, and welcome to my podcast. Are you in the mood for California? Today we'll explore and feel Brentwood, followed by an interview with Kelley Raleigh, who will share with us what it feels like to live in this coveted area of Los Angeles.
To be honest, I love the bougie parts of it. I love the niceness. I think it's really pretty. I love the country mart. I love the aesthetics, right? So there's all that. But when I first moved here, I was 28 and I was going to be moving in with a friend who lived in Mandeville Canyon. And who doesn't want to just move into Mandeville Canyon? You don't really understand the concept of that until you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was this beautiful house with this beautiful yard and this view. And then we were in the country mart all the time. We were going to Montana Avenue all the time. And we were close to the beach and going down to Ocean Avenue. And it was like, oh, this is really lovely. And it feels like a vacation. It feels like, every day is just like, what adventure are we going to take right now?
Masha Korpacheva is a California-based realtor and a member of the National Association of Realtors in Los Angeles. She's an advocate for selling and buying homes with soul and practicing mindfulness in real estate. With master's degrees in spiritual psychology and linguistics, Masha brings all of her skills to work with her clients. An intuit and empath, she has touched many lives with her outstanding ability to see beyond the visible and helping to come to better understanding of issues and their resolutions. An adventurous world traveler, from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania to exploring the Galapagos Islands, Masha has a particular passion for the City of Angels. Having landed in this paradise and adopted it as her home, she's been sharing old Hollywood stories since 2007. In the mood for California, feel the soul of old Hollywood.
And now, are you ready to experience Brentwood? In the heart of sunny Los Angeles, a neighborhood with a vibrant history thrives, much like a cherished story passed down through generations. Brentwood, now a green and picturesque community, embarked on its journey in the 1880s. It all commenced with the establishment of the Pacific branch of the National Home for Disabled Soldiers and Sailors, spanning a vast 600 acres. Right beyond the gates of this institution, a close-knit community began to take root, earning the moniker Westgate. Little did they know that their modest beginnings would set the stage for a neighborhood that would become one of Los Angeles' most treasured gems. Skipping ahead to June 14, 1916, a pivotal date etched in the annals of Brentwood. This marked the moment when Westgate, encompassing 49 square miles of land, was warmly embraced into the arms of the city of Los Angeles. The newfound territory included generous slices of what we now recognize as the Pacific Palisades and a charming corner of the illustrious Bel Air. Today, if you amble along Westgate Avenue, you'll discover one of the last vestiges of this historical namesake. Yet, Brentwood isn't just a geographical location. It's a community with heartwarming traditions. Every year, on the verdant lawns of the Archer School for Girls, a maypole ascends, preserving a tradition handed down from the days of the Eastern Star home, which once graced these very grounds. And here is a delightful tidbit. This very location served as the backdrop for the Mar Vista Rest Home in the iconic 1974 film Chinatown. Of course, every community faces its own set of trials, and Brentwood is no exception. The State CAL FIRE Authority has designated a significant stretch of Brentwood spanning from Mulholland down to Sunset Boulevard as a very high fire hazard severity zone. This decision stemmed from the rugged interplay between urban development and wildlife habitats on the hillsides, resulting in a history of fires that posed grave threats to entire neighborhoods, necessitating numerous evacuations. In response, the Brentwood community stands as a unified force advocating for the cautious expansion of development in these fragile hillside and canyon areas. Now, let me transport you back to a fateful day in Brentwood's history, November 6, 1961. A diligent construction crew toiling away in Sherman Oaks, just north of Brentwood, noticed an ominous sight on the horizon: smoke and flames. Fueled by relentless Santa Ana winds, gusting at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, the fire swiftly transformed smoldering brush into a raging inferno, leaping over the ridge and into the heart of Brentwood. In the face of this fiery onslaught, over 300 courageous police officers embarked on a mission to evacuate 3,500 residents over a grueling 12-hour ordeal. Simultaneously, some 2,500 firefighters engaged in an unyielding battle against the blaze, drawing water from the swimming pools of Brentwood homes to quell the flames. The fire's tenacious pockets continued to smolder for several days. Despite the devastation, the indomitable spirit of Brentwood persevered, rallying against the flames that ranked as the nation's fifth worst conflagration at the time. Brentwood's past is punctuated by moments of both triumph and sorrow. In 1994, the world watched in disbelief as tragedy unfolded within its borders. It was here that Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman tragically lost their lives, victims of a devastating stabbing incident outside Nicole's Bundy Drive townhouse. The subsequent trial of Nicole's ex-husband, the renowned football player and actor O.J. Simpson, captivated the nation. While he was acquitted of the murders, a subsequent civil trial held him accountable for their deaths. The property that once bore witness to these harrowing events, O.J. Simpson's Brentwood home, eventually changed hands. The new owners made the courageous choice to demolish the house, ushering in a fresh chapter for a location steeped in history. Brentwood's character continues to shine through its tree-lined streets, offering a sanctuary of natural beauty with distinctive mansions and the vibrant farmers market, making it an integral part of the Los Angeles experience. It is also a favorite residence for celebrities such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, LeBron James, and Tobey Maguire. Beyond its star-studded allure, the city is a treasure trove of architectural marvels. Among those is the renowned Nesbitt House, a 3,400-square-foot mid-century gem, originally constructed in 1942 for radio personality John Nesbitt. Designed by the illustrious architect Richard Neutra, This house underwent a stunning renovation and in 2014 fetched an impressive sale price of over $7 million. So, whether you're captivated by history, entranced by architectural wonders, or drawn to the lively pulse of a community, Brentwood opens its arms wide, eager to share its stories and to continue weaving its warm and engaging narrative. And here we are. I'm so excited to have wonderful Kelley Raleigh here with me. Kelley is an unschooling mother, intuition coach, certified brain trainer, and the founder of KINDbrain Body and Brain Spa. She has had a soul-nourishing career as a director of various youth programs across the country and a family coach for teens, parents for over 20 years. She knows the challenges of new mom-ness, feeling scattered and healing from traumatic events so she can thrive in her life. What she has discovered since the inception of KINDbrain is that when people sustainably regulate their nervous system, their world profoundly changes. When brains are organized and nervous systems are relaxed, we are resilient to the stress of life. Kelley has experienced it firsthand in her own life and is shouting this from the rooftops. She offers 1- and 3-day retreats, works in person and remotely with individuals and groups, and is so humbled when people have begun to see their lives differently from a calm filter. Each family or company are their own ecosystem, and Kelley has watched when entire families or businesses train their brains and focus on authentic healing. The dynamics become easier, more resilient, and relationships are stronger. Kelley is clear that her mission is to transform how we all view and heal from trauma and grief. She is also clear that we all can heal once we make a choice to. We all have the answers inside of us. Sometimes we just need to clear out some static so that our brains and nervous systems are calm. She is here to help you on that journey. She offers powerful and intimate in-person retreats in Los Angeles. Back to You retreats are throughout the year. For all dates and to register, please go to www.thekindbrain.com. You can also follow Kelley on Instagram at Kelley_Raleigh. Kelley will share with us what it feels like to live in Brentwood. Hello, Kelley.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Good to see you as well. I was really looking forward to our conversation about Brentwood today.
Yeah.
It is really famous for its upscale amenities and tree-lined streets and picturesque surroundings. So you're very lucky to be living there.
I am, but I have to say, and I know this is probably one of your questions, but I have to say, like, it actually is just a nostalgic space for me, or part of the city, because it's where I first lived when I first moved here. And we can get into that. But yes, all those things that you said, but it's also just a special family spot for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, could you then please share about your personal journey and how you ended up living in Brentwood? And well, you did mention that it is your, personal spot that attracted you to this particular neighborhood. Could you please elaborate?
Well, I mean, yes, to be honest, I love like the bougie parts of it. I love the niceness. I think it's really pretty. I love the country mart. I love the aesthetics, right? So there's all that. But when I first moved here, I was 28 and I was going to be moving in with a friend who lived in Mandeville Canyon. And who doesn't want to just move into Mandeville Canyon? You don't really understand the concept of that until you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was this beautiful house with this beautiful yard and this view. And then we were in the country mart all the time. We were going to Montana Avenue all the time. And we were close to the beach and going down to Ocean Avenue. And it was like, oh, this is really lovely. And it feels like a vacation. It feels like, every day is just like, what adventure are we going to take right now? And
Yes.
so that was where I first moved when I came at the age of 28, which was 20 years ago, which feels crazy to say. And so I lived there for a few months and then moved away, but then came back at another point in time. And then now I'm back again. So I just spent a lot of time over here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. And I can see why it attracted you back, because probably some of the most fun and joyful days were spent there. That felt like a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Kelley, how would you describe the overall vibe and atmosphere of Brentwood?
The vibe and atmosphere. Moving back here again 20 years later, I've kind of lived all over the city, but moving back, it does feel a bit like a vacation place. Like the new place that I'm in, actually, I kind of call it like a chalet. Like it feels like a vacation spot, like an Airbnb that you would have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the sun that comes in every morning, the mountain views that I have, like it feels like I'm still perpetually on a vacation. I'm
Yes.
not, however, because I still have to work, but it's good to feel like that.
So it has a very relaxed vibe in a way.
Relaxed. Yeah, very easygoing. Out of all the places that I've lived, this feels like, because I'm just going to say it. Most everybody that lives in Brentwood, a lot of people are very wealthy. And so they probably don't have a lot of like that inner struggle that, young people feel when they're living in other parts of like the city, right? Like they're actors and they're still like have the angst to like, make their dreams come true. And so people, at least the ones that I know in Brentwood, have a lot of like, yeah, we're older, we've kind of made it in our lives, and we're just enjoying our lives.
Yes.
So I like that aspect of it. I like just the enjoyment of the life versus, the struggle piece and feeling that anxiety that I do.
Yes. So that's where you end up after you've made it, and now you can take a breath and relax finally.
I guess. I'm completely making that up. That's just my interpretation.
Of course.
But yeah.
But that's the feeling. That's the feeling that you feel, and it's the exact correct feeling. And that's what also drew you back into Brentwood, because you want to be in this atmosphere.
Yeah.
Very nice. So how would you say that this atmosphere that you surrounded yourself with contributes to your creativity and productivity, because you still have to work?
Right. I'm still working. Yes. And I love it. Thank God. It's almost a motivator in a way. It's like, I want to achieve that feeling of like, okay, I'm good. And I have to say, a lot of days I do feel like I am in that space of like, I've already achieved what I wanted and made what I wanted, which, isn't exactly accurate because I'm still, building and trying to create a legacy for my son. But it just kind of keeps my momentum going, where I love being in the space of beauty and access and wealth that, just kind of keeps me motivated to keep going and doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. That totally makes sense. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yes. And what about the natural environment of the neighborhood where you live? So do you often go for walks? Do you find your inspiration there as well?
Yes. So I am so grateful. I'm surrounded by trees. I'm across from the Getty. So I have a view of a mountain and a view of the Getty.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighborhood I'm in is actually similar to the one that I just left in Sherman Oaks. And it's tons of trees, tons of yards, really simple, quiet streets, nothing super busy and crazy. And so, yeah, I walk every day. It's important to me. And I love smelling the flowers. I literally just said to a girlfriend the other day as I was walking, like I wanted to keep walking up and down this particular street because it was so floral. All of the flowers were in full bloom, whatever they were. I don't even know. Lilacs, magnolias. I don't even know all the smells, but it was so rich and fragrant. And like, to me, that's like that simple beauty. Like, I just want to be in and around that and appreciate it. And it doesn't have to be like the big extravagant, homes that I, need to be around. It's like, no, I really love like the simplicity of the tree-lined streets and the smells of the flowers and the really beautiful, lovely homes with, yards and fences and kids and all that. So
yes, you're conveying this love so perfectly. I'm literally sensing it right now. That's so beautiful.
thanks.
And well, that brings me to my next question, because you have this very unique, incredible company that is called KINDbrain, and everything you have just been talking about somehow inspired you to, build your company, because everything you were talking about, kind of like makes you a kinder person when you're find yourself in a very relaxed environment, and when you're looking at trees and flowers, and the atmosphere and vibe around you is all relaxed, and deep inside of you, maybe you feel like, okay, well, I've made it, or at least you've made it to where you are at, and being kind to yourself. So could you please elaborate a little bit more about your company?
So it's interesting. I feel like there's so many ways to answer this question or tell you about KINDbrain. I'm really proud of it. It will be 4 years in August. And I mean, originally it was just like, how can I support my coaching clients even more? And then it turned into this, oh, wow, like I get to step into not only supporting myself and my family by doing this work, but operating from a place of a relaxed nervous system, regardless of what's going on around me. And then I get to support people having that experience themselves so that they can appreciate the tree-lined streets and the smells of the flowers because they're not caught up in the stress. And I know that this sounds Pollyanna to some people. Like, I fully get that, and that's okay. But when we get to the simplicity of the beauty of what's in front of us, the person in front of us, our home, the trees, etc., we're coming from a place of being really present. And when we're really present in our lives, we make healthier decisions. And so I started this business, again, just wanting to support my coaching clients in a deeper way. I wanted to get back into the workforce. I was a stay-at-home mom. And when I started using NeuroOptimal on myself, which was a brain training neurofeedback, it just changed so much for me, where I got to like really have the daily experience of being present in my life. And with that, I wanted to make changes in my life. I wanted to really kind of make some different decisions. That's a whole other story. And when I started seeing the results in my clients, it was like, okay, well, how can I expand this? Yes, I can get more systems. Yes, I can coach more clients, but like, how can I really integrate what I'm doing? And so I love to do live events. I love to do my retreats. I love to work with people in person, one-on-one, or in small, intimate groups, because I feel like when we really are kind to ourselves, we're going to be kinder to other people. But it's really just about connecting and understanding the human connection that we all want to have, whether it's in a romantic relationship, with our kids, with our parents, in work. We just want to connect and be seen and appreciated for who we are. So when people really can understand that and want to do that for themselves, that's when they show up and they want to work with me, and I love what I do.
It's beautiful. And it's the best feeling to do the work that you love to do. So, Kelley, how can we all become a little more kinder? So, do you have any advice or any tips or anything that you have observed? So, if a person is not kind to themselves, how or what are the steps can they make to be kinder?
Well, I think there's the obvious, right? We can start making healthier choices, etc. But I'm going to go further because most people don't really even want to do that because it's work. And I get it. There's times where I don't want to do the things and I still do them, especially when I don't want to do it. I think one of the biggest things and this is what I work with when I work with clients, is forgiving judgments that we're holding on ourselves. And again, I know that sounds really simplistic. I know that can probably sound a little silly or Pollyanna, but I literally just had a client leave my house 10 minutes ago before we, got on this call, and we went through the exercise. She did a session and she literally looked like she got a facelift. Like, she was brighter. She was lighter. Her eyes were lighting up. She was smiling where she wasn't smiling when she came in and for her first session. And I talk a lot about judgments, and we all have a past. We all have things that we've done, allowed, created, cultivated, et cetera, in our lives that we may not love, or people that have done to us. And it's like, how can we take radical responsibility for our lives? And how can we let go of those judgments that we are literally keeping in our bodies? And I do this exercise every day on myself. So this is something that I practice daily. And it really is about letting go of the judgment of not liking your kids in a moment, getting stressed out driving, not living your dream that you want to be living. What are the judgments that you're holding, and actively forgiving those, so that the energy is literally coming out of your body and moving out of those blocks that are being held in your body. And I think that's just one of the biggest things that we can do. I literally see a physical transformation when someone is in front of me and they're doing the forgiveness statements. And the forgiveness statement is, I forgive myself for judging myself for, and then they fill in the blank. And when they do it repeatedly, I literally see a physical transformation. I'm sure there is one on me when I do it too. I think that's just foundational.
Wow, that's fascinating. Isn't it amazing how when you just let go of the judgments that you have about yourself or others, and then you forgive yourself for having those, and then you take, as you said, radical responsibility for your life, and that makes you a kinder person. Isn't it incredible how simple it sounds and seems to be, but yet it is not?
I know, because we're taught from such an early age to not listen to our intuition, to not listen to our own guidance, to put, all of this, to put your life into other people's hands, whether it's government, doctors, parents, like all these experts. And I'm not saying don't listen to your parents. I'm not saying don't respect, people that have, some version of authority, but there's also like, what is your body telling you in this moment, in this situation, or with this person, or with this dynamic? And how can you gracefully, compassionately move out of it, or bring more loving to it and connect with that person in front of you, so that there's empathy and loving. But when we have all of this stuff that we've programmed into ourselves from such a young age, these beliefs that we probably really don't believe once we think about them, it's almost like there's this dirty filter that we're seeing life through. And when it's dirty, you're not seeing the truth of it. You're not seeing the brilliance of it. You're not seeing the brightness of it and the beauty of that person in front of you, or the situation in front of you that you can learn from. And so it just kind of clouds everything. And so that keeps people angry and resentful and pissed off. And next thing you know, and I've experienced this. I'm not talking from a place of like only watching other people do this. I've experienced this myself. So I know it. And I know that when I'm really out of balance, I get really crabby. And it's like, I got to move through this, because this is not helping me connect with myself or anybody. And so that's, I think, the key to people moving into knowing themselves and wanting to connect with other humans from an authentic place.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for the work that you do, helping people to get to know their better selves. And as you said, gracefully and compassionately moving out of the situations that are not beneficial for them, so that they can be in better acceptance of their actually better life.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing this work.
Sure.
So back to Brentwood. And my question is, are there any specific activities maybe or events in the area where you live that you find particularly beneficial to your work-life balance?
I love hiking in Mandeville Canyon. I probably shouldn't have said Mandeville Canyon because I don't want it to be overcrowded, but I love the Mandeville Canyon. You're in the mountains, you get the view of the ocean, all the things. I've already said I love going to the Brentwood Country Mart. It's so sweet and simple. I'm kind of a creature of habit, so I don't do a ton of different things. There's a really sweet farmers market in Brentwood that I love going to, even though I haven't been in a really long time. I really kind of like just getting out and going wherever people are. So it doesn't necessarily have to always be a destination. Somehow I have a lot of friends, or a few friends in Brentwood, that I can just go and kind of be in. I like being around friends and community. So that actually makes me really happy when I can do that and I can be around people that I love.
Yes, yes, for sure. Yeah, that is the best balance you can have in life, to be surrounded with people that you love.
Yeah.
And what about your home? What does the concept of home actually mean to you? And how would you describe the significance and emotional connection that you have with your home that you called chalet? And what would you say is the heart of your chalet?
I mean, you know, there's the cliche, home is where the heart is, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just really true. I mean, home is where you are with the people that you love. And I feel at home when I'm with my friends and my community and people that I love. I have a young son, and I mean, this sounds so silly, but like one of my favorite things to do is to be at home in the evening, playing board games with him, having lovely music on, and the wind blowing and the sun out and sunset going down. It's just like that to me is just so simple and elegant and like lovely. And we're just having fun and we're laughing and just kind of being present with each other. And you know, you mentioned home, and I just moved out of my family home that was beautiful and I loved it, and there were so many amazing memories, and there's not some great memories there. And I remember having sitting down with my son in that home a few months ago with the board games and the music on, and it was just so visceral that it was like, this to me is the magic. This is what I want to be doing. I want to be, you know, I want my husband there. I want a dog there. I want, you know, the family there, you know, and now I'm doing that in my new place and it's beautiful. And I think I love having people in my home. I love sharing my home with people because it just brings laughter and joy and, you know, spirit into where I'm living.
What a beautiful description. And looks like everything is integrated into this description, you know, the place where you live, the work that you do, and your home with laughter and lovely music, and your son, and games, and, you know, people coming over. It's just this connectivity to the people and also staying present. Yeah, that is home.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So now, Kelley, I have a few blitz questions to you about Brentwood, about some favorite places that you might have there. And you mentioned a few, mostly, you know, the market and like where you like going for walks, but maybe there are some specific places that you like. For example, maybe you have a favorite store.
I don't shop a lot. Like, actually, no, I don't have names of stores, but the stores that I love and one actually just shut down in Brentwood, and it was this really beautiful frame shop that also had these really sweet gifts in it. I love buying people gifts that are interesting and unique and you're not going to really find anywhere else. And it made me think of them. Like, those are the gifts that I love to give people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love little boutiques and it doesn't even have to be an art place, but like, you know, where there's just little special, unique books or pieces of art or jewelry that make me or that remind me of someone that I, you know, want to buy it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of places, I don't know the names of them. There's a couple of places in the Country Mart. There's a couple of places on San Vicente. And like I said, the one place that shut down, it was on Wilshire. So it's not there anymore. I know that's a horrible answer to your question. I'm literally not giving anyone anywhere to go. So I'm really sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, you know what? Brentwood is actually famous for having all these little boutiques and gift shops. And it doesn't matter what they're called. It's just like, this is the place to go to. And basically every other store you will walk into will be just this specific boutique where you can find some really unique gifts.
Yeah. And Montana Avenue has a lot of that, but that's technically Santa Monica.
Correct. Yes.
You know, so I was thinking of like these places and it's like, well, I can go up and down Montana and find everything that I need, but that's not Brentwood. So I wouldn't answer your question properly either. So sorry.
That's fine. No worries. You know, no proper answers are required here. So we're just talking from the heart. So what about your favorite restaurant? Is there one in Brentwood, or do you still have to go to Santa Monica?
There's so many restaurants that I love. A place that's really special to me is a Votrisante on San Vicente. There's a couple that have closed down. There was a French bakery that I loved, but that closed down too. Comes back to the Country Mart, the Farm Shop, Sweet Rose, ice cream. Those are really sweet places. You know, who doesn't love AOC, Toscana, you know, those places on Vicente. I mean, they're amazing. And Barney's Burgers is always sweet. I love Frida's Tacos. Like, I kind of run the gamut of like the really expensive places to like, you know, just a taco joint or something.
Right. Yes. There are many options. Okay. Do you have a favorite coffee shop?
I don't drink a lot of coffee, but if I did, I really like Cafe Lux.
Okay. Cafe Lux.
Yeah.
That is very famous.
Yes.
Okay. And then you did mention that you love going for walks, and you did mention Mandeville Canyon. And would you say it's your favorite street to go for walks, or is there maybe some other streets that you prefer?
Yeah, going up Mandeville Canyon and hiking up there would be one of my favorite. I mean, I've just been hiking up there for 20 years, and it's just a special spot in a lot of ways for me. So, you know, I take my son up there to watch fireworks, and I have friends that live up there, and you know, I've taken my dog up there for years, and it's just, yeah, going up Westridge and Mandeville Canyon is kind of like, I think the best. But I mean, walking up and down San Vicente is always fun too. Like, there's always people out, and there's always a cafe, or, you know, Whole Foods is right there. So
right.
That's
very
great.
walkable, very walkable.
Yeah.
That's what those streets are. And is there any place around where you live where you can see the best sunset?
No, because there's like a mountain that kind of blocks that. So
Okay.
I'd have to go up into a canyon or go down into Santa Monica. I haven't found a good sunset spot over here.
It's okay. You still have to go to Santa Monica then.
I know Brentwood doesn't have everything. It's okay.
That is fine. Well, Kelley, thank you so much for taking the time for our conversation and sharing the vibe and atmosphere of Brentwood and your favorite places, of course. And I'm glad that you found this beautiful and comfortable and very relaxing spot for yourself and for your family. And I hope you'll find many more inspirations, you know, in the place where you live and where you feel connected, to bring it forward to your clients through your work that you do, so that they can be kinder people and then go out to, you know, all the different places where they live and be kinder to themselves and to others.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's the vision. We'll see how
That's the
it goes.
vision. As long as we stick to the vision, so it will happen.
Exactly. But thank you, Maria, for having me. And like, this was lovely. It
Yes.
was lovely talking with you.
Lovely talking with you too. Thank you, Kelley.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for tuning in to Feel and Experience Brentwood with my special guest, Kelley Raleigh. If you enjoy my podcast, In the Mood for California, please sign up for future episodes at your preferred platform, and please leave your feedback. I really appreciate your time and support. You can follow me on Instagram at In the Mood for California, and check out my website, www.inthemoodforcalifornia.com. I'm a realtor with Beverly & Company Luxury Properties, and my license number is 019-78714. Selling and buying homes with soul is not just my real estate strategy. It is an intuitive and holistic approach that embraces your values, aspirations, and conscious intentions. If you want to discover the power of mindfulness in your real estate journey with my compassionate guidance, I'm here for you. Next time, we'll explore some iconic locations and landmarks of Los Angeles. Cannot wait to share this experience with you.
In the Mood for California, Feel the soul of Old Hollywood